SuperTalk Mississippi media production. Pike County, here comes your morning show. Dave in the morning on 93.5 FM, SuperTalk Mississippi.
So now, understand, you're not going to dictate to me what I do and what I don't do, but I'm still the mayor, Mr. Brown.
None of this meeting is recorded. None by any party. Correct?
No, sir, mine is recorded. I'm being accused.
Any conversation.
Said I want to make it on record. I want the allegations in writing, party accused, party on recording of this harassment.
And now, here's your host, Dave Hughes.
Good morning to you. How you doing on a Thursday? You're wet. I know how you're doing. I've been outside. You are suffering from an extreme lack of dryness. An awfully stupid way to put that, since dryness is a lack of wetness, but you know what I meant. You knew my intention. It's North Pike Thursday, and we got a good one today. Miss Erin Conerly Skeen is with us because it's Beta Club discussion time, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And it's also the end of the school year. You and I were just talking.
Yes, we are in state testing season.
Yay.
Our English 2 students are testing today. So.
Okay, one of the big ones.
Yep.
They're all big.
They are.
Is the thing. How much stress does that put on you?
On me?
Yeah.
At this point in the school year, the stress isn't on me. It's on the kids to perform. Like, we've taught them the skills that they need, and it's just about going out and giving their best, doing their best on the test. So I feel confident. I've done my job, and it's going to be up to them to read the passages and answer the questions. So
now, having said that, I would assume you've got a certain amount of worry about how things are going to turn out, but not with the Beta Club students, I wouldn't think. No,
Beta. Our Beta kids are, most of them, well, probably all of them that are in state tested classes, they test in the fall. They're on like an accelerated honors level.
Yeah, okay.
And so they
sense.
Test in the fall semester, at the end of the fall semester in December. These that are testing now are our regular gen ed students.
Okay, that makes sense, because when you've got accelerated kids, some of them were kind of done.
Yeah.
Last semester.
Yeah. So they're, like I said, most of them are on an accelerated track. Part of being in Beta at North Pike is they have to be either in an honors course, an AP class, or a dual credit class. Those are the requirements one of the requirements to be a part of our Beta Club at the high school level. And so they have to maintain a B or higher average in their classes. And that's just on the achievement side of it. They have to perform at a high achievement rate. The other aspects of it are, of course, discipline, which, again, these are the top echelon of kids, so there's not really any discipline problems. Character, we look at like character and leadership, and again, most of these kids that are in Beta are, they do display excellent characteristics and leadership qualities. So they really are the leaders of our school.
Go-getters.
Yes.
Would that be a fair term to use?
Yes, very self-motivated. They're very involved in a lot of different things, whether it's athletics or CTE programs. We have a lot of extracurricular clubs on our campus: Geek Squad, Legacy Club, Interact Club, and they're members of all of that too. So I mean, like they literally have their hands in everything on campus, and that kind of exudes leadership. Like, they're involved and they care about the groups on our campus and our student body and their friends, and they really are some of the best kids. And I was talking with a parent yesterday we were talking about going to nationals, and she was just like, they are so lucky to have you. And I'm like, no, I'm lucky that I get to work with such amazing kids, and I get to support them in all that they want to do, because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about them and their goals and their achievements and what they want to do going forward.
A weird angle on this, but just stick with me here. There is a noted, I wouldn't even call it a trend necessarily, tendency maybe. For a lot of times, the gifted kids, the ones that perform at the highest of high levels, once they get out of school in the structured system, might struggle a little bit with real life. How do you deal with that, or do you deal with that? I told you it was a weird question.
It is, and I do see what you're saying, because we do have such structure at the high school level. Or at the school level. But I would like to think, and I could be wrong, but I would like to think that some of the life lessons that we're teaching in, not just in Beta Club, but in our school systems, help them to kind of cope with reality when they get out of the school system. Like meeting deadlines, and if I have to send you 5 reminders that you're supposed to come and drop off your service project items, and I still see you and I'm like, hey, I need you to come drop off your stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, well, why do I have to send you 5 reminders in order to do that? So like, we're trying to frame some of those conversations, and it's not just happening in Beta Club, but like in my classrooms as well. Like when I set deadlines and they're like, oh, well, I just forgot. Okay, well, if you go into a workplace when you get out of school and you become an adult, and you go into a workplace and they give you a deadline,
you're not going to get 5 reminders,
right,
number one. Yeah.
Right, and then when you don't meet your deadline, there's going to be some sort of punishment. You'll get taken off the project, or you could get fired because you habitually don't meet deadlines, or you habitually are late, or and we're having conversation. I'm having, and I know other teachers are having conversations with students. A lot of it starts at home. And I hate to frame it like that, but there's only so much that we can do to try to enforce these things. And when we do, we usually get parent blowback. Like, the kids say, well, she's just unfair, or, I don't understand why I can't, get another chance. And you've been given 5 chances. Like, it's, I don't know. It's an issue everywhere. It's not just it's not
universal.
It's not just happening at North Pike High School, and it's not just happening in my English 2 classes. It's not just happening with the Beta Club. It's happening everywhere. So I just think having as many of those conversations and trying to frame it as a life lesson, and trying to instill discipline and good character, and having sound morals and values. Not everybody gets that at home. And so trying to not just introduce that, but trying to foster that relationship amongst all students, not just the beta kids and not just my English 2 kids, but like trying to foster those types of relationships where they understand that this is something I really need to work on, because they're not always going to have me saying, hey guys,
don't forget. Or
I have a reminder that's been written on my board for 2 months, and I still have kids that are like, hey, can I da 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 da? I'm like, can you read the board? And they're like, oh.
They read it once and then it becomes invisible.
Well,
to be fair, that happens at my house when the trash needs to be taken out. My wife will go, you always walk right past it.
And you don't even see it.
I don't see it anymore. It's there.
That must be a universal husband thing, because my husband does the same thing.
Well, that's just the way it works sometimes. I would say this, the comparison I would draw when you talk about the home life versus the school life, you ask any coach, this is a cliche in athletics. You play how you practice. It's not the same thing. I'm not calling family life practice, but when it comes to work skills, life skills, job skills, it kind of is.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting the reps in practice at home, it makes playing the game a lot harder.
Right.
So that would be my thought on that.
Another teacher and I were having this conversation just yesterday. I grew up on a dairy farm. I know what
what 4 a.m. looks like.
I know what it is to work hard. My parents instilled strong work ethic in me, and I told her it makes me a better teacher, because if this is my goal, I'm going to do everything I can to meet it. If I set a goal of I want my second period to be 95% proficient on their state test, I'm going to do everything within my power. We're going to work on standards that we struggle with. I'm going to, just keep going and keep going and keep going until I feel like we can meet that goal. And I just don't think that a lot of our general population students have attainable goal setting skills and the work ethic to meet them. And I don't know where the disconnect comes from. Like, I don't know if it's like parents, and I understand parents want the best for their children, and they want their kids to do whatever it is that they want to encourage them to do whatever they want to do. But if you're telling me that you want to be in the NFL, if you want to go pro football for the quarterback position, and you're not playing on your high school football team, like, you should not have a parent at home saying you can be anything you want to be.
Yeah.
That's not attainable.
Has been damaging to me in a lot of ways.
That's not an attainable goal that they can reach if they're not putting in the work and the reps and the steps in here at this age and at this level to make it happen. And I feel like goal setting, there should be 2 avenues of goal setting. Short-term goals, like things that you can achieve if you got to work at them, but you can achieve it. And then long-term goals, which you follow the short-term goals to build up to the long-term goals. And
I would add a third category.
Okay.
Genie goals. Here's what I mean by that. You do your short-term goals, and you work hard to try to achieve the long-term goals.
Right.
Genie goals are over that's the pie in the sky. If I had one wish today, I would have this.
Right.
While you're working and achieving those short-term goals, working towards the long-term goals, every so often you'll see an opportunity pop up. Something will just come out of nowhere.
Right.
And you need those genie goals to aim for so that you can recognize when the off-ramp comes along the road you're going to travel no matter what, that you can take it and get off and give it a shot. So I would add that third category.
Yes. Well, and I think that plays into how successful our Beta Club has been in the past couple of years. We went 4 years ago. I took Colin Richardson, who is our Beta Club president, his senior year, and our vice president, Jack Wyatt Welch-Dick, to National Beta Convention in Louisville, Kentucky. And Colin was a leadership representative for like the state of Mississippi. And he and Jack really like sat down and was like, I think our beta club could be so much more active, and we could do so many more things, and we could be so successful in certain areas. And it really lit a fire under Jack to want to run for state vice president the next year. And on the way home, we were talking about that. You know, what are some goals that we want to set for the club? Because Jack was going to be our president the next year. And Jack was like, I really want to run for state VP. And I said, I think you can do it. And he was just like, it's not it's not an odd goal. Like, are you sure? And I was like, Jack, you have the personality, you have the fortitude, like you have the mindset and the motivation. You can do it, you know, and I will do whatever it is on the back end, like to help support if this is really what you want to do. And so we go to convention. State convention is in February every year, and he ran and was runner up. The only reason why the guy who beat him was because their group had a larger group than ours.
Yeah.
And
just
like we
game.
took I think 40, 45 that year, and I think their group had like 80.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so I mean, so the next year Nationals was at Savannah, and we didn't go. I asked the group. We had a couple that, you know, placed at state, and they were just like, you know, I don't really want to go, or we can't make it work with our schedule, and so we didn't go. Well, last summer, Nationals was in Orlando, and we placed in scrapbook. We placed in competitions, collaboration connection, lead outside the box, and then Ace Fortenberry, Anna Claire Fortenberry placed in speech. And so again, I asked, like, they were like, are we going to nationals? Do y'all want to go? I want to go. Okay, well, let me look into all the logistics. And I had parents, they volunteered to go. And so, like, we went to nationals this past summer. And we came back with a top 3 place.
Nice.
In scrapbook. And we finished top 10 out of over 300 schools. We placed top 10 in lead outside the box. And I mean, the girls were just ecstatic. They were like just so on fire. And when we left state convention last February, they were already starting to plan like a campaign run for Maddie Abed for running for state vice president. And so they were coming up with all sorts of slogans. And we fast forward this fall, we went to Fall Leadership Conference, and Maddie went. And sitting in the chairs waiting for one of the sessions to start, I sat beside him and I was like, hey, have you thought any more about running for state VP? And he was just like, I mean, I just don't know. And I said, well, what's deterring you from this decision? And I want it to be your decision. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to push you. But like, you know, you have the support of our group. So it's really just up to you. If you want to run, wonderful. You'll have our full support. You've got a PR campaign team that'll run leaps and bounds for you. And he was just like, I don't know. And Miss Donna Womack, who's she's not over National Beta, but she works for National Beta. She always comes to the conferences and the conventions and stuff. Miss Donna walked over and she was like, oh, hey, what are y'all doing? And I said, well, I'm asking Maddie if he wants to run for state VP. And she was just like, ooh, let's hear about your campaign. And he was just like, And I said, well, just run through some of the like slogans that the girls have thrown out at you from convention. This just, and so they had come up with like an Aladdin theme. And so he was telling, her some of the slogans, and she was just like, that is so cute. Like, I think that would be like really catchy. And so they settled on, he agreed at the end of conference that, yeah, I think I'm going to run. I said, I think you'll do great. And so the next meeting we had, he was just like, I'm going to run. I want to run. And I was like, you got it. And Mary Lindsay LeBlanc and Brooke Richardson, all of that their whole friend group, and a lot of the juniors, because Maddie is a junior this year, they threw everything they had into his campaign. They made him like an Instagram page, and his slogan was "One jump ahead with Maddie Abed." And,
that's good.
Yeah, and his whole campaign skit, which won at state, was Aladdin themed. It was so good. We got a former North Pike Beta member, Cole Cooksey, who's at Southwest, to sing the track for us, and Mr. Bolaware and Mr. Weaver at North Pike Band, they cut the music and they worked their magic, and it was really a fun campaign for him. We've
got about 2, maybe 3 minutes left. We've got nationals coming up this year, right?
Yes, sir. We are going. Maddie is running for national VP,
wow.
Which is exciting. And we've got 16 other kids that are also going and competing in their scrapbookers entering again. And we've got Beta Blitz and All the World is a Stage and Collaboration Connection that we're going to be competing in. But Maddie is also running for national VP, which is exciting.
Man, that's exciting. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And you got to pull for him. And that's a great example, though. Sometimes you can talk yourself out of doing the thing that you really probably should be doing.
And he's such an easygoing, laid back, awesome kid. Like, he gets the support from everyone because of just who he is and how he approaches life. And that's a testament to his family and his upbringing for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a grandma or a grandpa or a mom or a dad sitting here going, I've never heard my kid mention Beta Club. Well, what's the process if a child wants to join? I know they're told over at the school, they know all about it, but still.
Well, we invite. We look and see at the beginning of the school year who meets the qualifications. And we base that on their freshman year. We give them a year to. It's almost like we're wiping the slate clean and starting over. So if they're in honors algebra 1 or if they're in honors biology, we look at who qualifies for an honors class their 10th grade year, and we look at their discipline, and we look at their academic status. So if they have all A's or B's and they're in an advanced, we call them advanced courses, if they're in an honors, AP, or dual credit class. And some kids, I will say, get to junior and senior year and they qualify and take dual credit or AP classes, and they don't get in their 10th grade year because they don't meet the qualifications. But when they get older and take the more advanced courses, then they meet the qualifications.
In other words, it's not over till it's over.
That's right.
So you can talk to them. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Tell Maddie we're rooting for him.
Yes.
And by we, I mean everybody.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And when it's over, it'll be this fall, obviously. But come back and tell us how it went.
I
want to hear the stories.
I would love to.
I want to hear the stories.
I'll bring Maddie with me. How about
perfect. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. Yes. Bring him in because that is fantastic.
Absolutely.
I love to see kids striving,
Yes.
reaching.
Yes.
Reaching for something they have to talk themselves into reaching for. That is the way to grow right there. It's perfect. Aaron Conerly, Skeen, I love having you here. Number one, I take you off the beaten path out into the dark weeds at the start of the show, and we talk about stuff that's got nothing to do with while you're here, but boy, you ended strong. Well done. North Pike Thursday brought to you by Selman's Jewelers and Southwest Supply. We continue with the lovely and talented Jessie Hudson. Up next, keep it here.
Southwest Supply Company is your local source for supplying your office, restaurant, concession stand, or household, cleaning and janitorial supplies, food service items, and more. We're proud to be able to deliver all of your office supplies, office furniture, and business machines. Call 601-684-5521 or visit us at 1036 Gordon Covington Road in Summit. Southwest Supply Company, delivering weekly to Macomb, Brookhaven, and surrounding areas.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't escape in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. Super Talk 93.5 is always the place to be. Want to get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all around, it's all the Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Weekday mornings at 6 after 9 on 93.5 FM, or you can catch up anytime by going to
SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
Dave in the morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. Catch up and catch on.
Each time I'm with you, I lose my mind because I'm bending over backwards to relate. It's one thing to complain, but when you're driving me insane, well then I think it's time that we took a break.
Welcome back on a Thursday morning. Dave Hughes here, and joined now by my hallway wave buddy.
Good morning.
We were just talking about that. Jessie Hudson joins us, works here at Southwest Mississippi Community College in the Workforce Training Center, and we're laughing because we're both so busy. Most of our interactions consist of through two windows here in the room, just waving at each other as we go by.
Exactly. We get to catch up when we come on air. So that's just be a part of our conversation today.
This is our visiting time.
Yes.
You're welcome to stick around, but this is what we do. How things been going?
Good. Just busy, but a lot of exciting things coming up. How about you?
Yeah, sure. We'll go. It never ends.
That's right.
And now, of course, for you, we're at the end of the year, so there's a lot more things going on than normal.
Yes, academic graduations coming up, CTE, and then our students are graduating in the workforce, and then we're getting ready for registration for the fall. So.
And then, just to top it off, just to make sure you've got something to fill in those quiet moments.
Right.
Now we got a ribbon cutting next week.
Yes, and I'm so excited about it because it's been something that has been in the works since before I started, which was in 2024. So now it's actually coming to fruition. So I'm super excited about it.
Let's talk about it because when you first hear about this, and I saw the notice, and even me trying to stay up to date on everything, I saw it and said, It's a little late to be cutting the ribbon on the Workforce Training Center, but it's not for the whole building. It's for something specific.
Yes, this is actually our industrial maintenance mobile lab. I don't know if you've seen the trailer that's been in the parking lot. So we're doing the ribbon cutting, getting ready to start it. And what it's going to do is kind of just expand access to workforce training, specifically for incumbent workers, people already working in the industrial fields. They can advance their skills there, and we can actually take that training to them rather than them having to spend time to take off work to come for a training.
Well, and that's a beautiful thing, because there are a lot of people that could benefit from additional training, but when you got to work, you got to work.
Exactly.
And the boss isn't like, what, you think I'm going to just let you skip work so that you can get better?
Mm-hmm. And sometimes they do, but this is just another way that we can actually bring that training to them, and hopefully that'll help save them a little bit of money as the industry while also helping expand their workforce.
Now, you said this has been in the works since before you came in 2024.
Yes, they've been talking about it for quite some time, and it's actually, it's here. It's getting ready to get sent out. So I'm so excited, and it's really something that's a partnership thing. It's not something that we could do on our own. So places like Accelerate Mississippi, different initiatives like this is possible because of them.
Now, I would assume, and I may be talking all the way out of church here, but I would assume with this being a mobile lab with training, you could have businesses, you could have companies and industries say, hey, why don't you bring that over here?
That's the plan. That's the idea. So the hope is that if an industry does need, especially like a specific training they see their workers need, they can call us, pick their trainings out that they need, pick out if they need it for a couple weeks, if they need it for a couple months, we'll be able to take it to them, park it there, let them get the trainings they need, and then move it out to the next person who needs it. So.
And that reminds me of something. We try to talk about this on a regular basis. You were talking about them picking out the trainings that they needed. It doesn't have to necessarily be one you guys already offer, because I know you custom create things sometimes.
Right, exactly. So if an industry does need a specific training in a certain area, whether that be mechanical drives, electrical system, hydraulics, if they just need one area of those, they can say, hey, we need this. We have this many employees. We'd like to have them trained for that. But if you have someone in the community who's interested in getting that field, we do have an industrial maintenance class on campus that they can take as well. That class meets one day a week, and we'll start registering people for that this summer.
Fantastic. And that's another misconception. And this is a great example of just how easy it can be to up your skills, make yourself more hireable, and more importantly, make yourself hireable at a better wage. We're not talking about 2, 3, 4 years worth of classwork to get certified in a lot of these things.
Right. And these classes, especially the industrial maintenance class, it meets once a week, especially as starting out. But they do get a lot of hands-on training and get to go. I went with the class the other day, the level 4 class, to Dixie Packaging to work on some equipment. So shout out to Dixie Packaging. They're getting to go and actually do and work and see how it's operated.
And that's fantastic that it's available. It's a relatively short-term thing. I mean, if you got somebody that's determined to be a doctor, well, you got 8 to 12 years you're going to be in school. This, it can be just a few weeks, right?
Right. And with this mobile lab, this can be, as in-depth as the employer wants it, or if it needs to be brief because they have a certain, product that they have to get out a certain time, that can be what we can try to help them with.
Now, is this already out and going around, or is it going to be after the ribbon cutting?
It will be after the ribbon cutting. So the ribbon cutting will be next Tuesday, May 5th at 1:30. So we would love for the community to join us just to come check it out, see what kind of trainings are going to be offered, see what it looks like, kind of hear some more details about the kinds of trainings, and then also hear about how they can get that scheduled as well. So it's not going out yet, but after the ribbon cutting, then we'll start working on that.
Okay, fantastic. So after that point, school's going to come to you.
Yes.
That's a pretty big deal.
It is.
Now, 1:30 on Tuesday.
1:30 on Tuesday. And it'll be at the workforce building in our parking lot that's between us and the baseball field.
Okay, so that would be the south parking lot.
I'm directionally challenged.
I know,
Mr. Dave,
that's specifically why I said that. I knew
do
that
my
about
best.
you. Where is it? Yonder?
Over there.
Over that way? That's good directions around here, you know.
But if you do come in the front door, we will get you where you need to be.
If you're looking at the front door of the Workforce Training Center, you're in the parking lot out here, you made it that far, and you're like, where is it? And you don't notice the enormous mobile industrial maintenance training vehicle over there. When you're facing the front door, turn to your left. Take a few steps. It's right over there in that parking lot on the side.
Absolutely. We'll tell you all about it. So.
1:30, there's, we going to have snacks?
You know, you would ask me that. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I mean, I could bring my own.
Bring your own snacks, I would say. And we may have something that I haven't been told of, but in case you're hungry, bring a snack.
I will bring my own snacks.
Maybe bring enough to share, Mr. Dave.
With you. Everybody else is on their own.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, we're sitting in here taking care of business. Right. What are they doing out there? I don't know. So, yeah.
And I will say, just to jump off of that point, maybe I'm biased about my colleagues, but they have worked so hard to get this off the ground since then, especially since I've started. They've done a lot of legwork on that, so I'm super proud of them because it's exciting to see.
I don't know of anybody in this building, and I've known everybody in this building for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. I don't know of anybody that you wouldn't be proud of.
Right. I know. They work so hard. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I sit here in my little box, and there's a crack between the banner and the blind there where I can see out in the hall. It looks like someone kicked the top off a fire ant mound some days. It's just people back and forth, taking care of business. This is the hardest working group of people you will ever run across, and I'm telling you that from personal experience, working here in the building with you guys. It's great company to keep.
It is, and they love it, and they love getting to see people advance in their skills, getting to see them, be successful, as well as the industries in our community as well. So, I don't know, I'm super excited to be working with such passionate people.
And this is another great example of that, the ribbon cutting Tuesday at 1:30 for the Industrial Maintenance Mobile Lab, another way to make it easier, to make it simple for people to up their skills. Yep. And as a result, up their pay.
Yes. Which everybody loves, right?
And as a result, they can then chip in for the snacks. See, there is an ultimate motivation that's the same across the board here, Jessie.
Yes.
Anything else that we missed?
That's it. Just come on out. We'd love to show you what we've been working on. Also, just what's in the future. We're hoping to get like a welding lab next if there is a need in the community, which would be amazing. So if that's something that your industry could benefit from, let us know, because hopefully that might be in the next 2 or 3 years that I'm here, something else to work on.
Well,
on our bucket list, if you will.
I suspect that's going to be a popular idea.
Probably so.
Yeah,
Probably
fantastic. So. Jessie Hudson, always enjoy having you in here.
Yes, always good to see you.
Now I want breakfast.
I know.
You did this.
We're going to go to breakfast is what we're going to do. We'll see y'all later.
The show's ending early today. Good night, everybody. Have a good day. Jessie, appreciate it. We'll see you. I'll see you in the hall about 20 times between now and then on Tuesday at the ribbon cutting.
Tuesday, 1:30.
1:30, right outside to the left. Remember, if you're facing the building, it's that way.
Yes.
Over yonder. It's Hudson instructions.
Yes, that's the Hudson instructions.
Okay, that's perfect. We'll continue right after this. Keep it here.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selman's, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selman's. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning. Even when you miss it the first time, you can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. wanna get the podcast version, here my friend is the key. SuperTalk.PikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the crave. SuperTalk.PikeCounty.com.
Dave Hughes here. Remember, every weekday morning at 9:06, it's Dave in the Morning, where we solve the problems of the world, or at least complain about them really loudly and sarcastically. And if you miss out, you can catch up with the podcast version of Dave in the Morning at SuperTalkPikeCounty.com.
She came from somewhere back in the long ago. The sun about a move on, she trying hard to recreate what had yet to be created. Once in her life, the imposters all smile for his nostalgic tale. Never coming near what they wanted to say, only to realize it never really was. She had a place in his life.
Welcome back. Congratulations to the Park Lane Pioneer baseball team. Needed a win. Needed one win yesterday to advance in the playoffs in the South State Series. 9-6, they beat Cathedral. And it was a lot more impressive than that sounds, because you got to realize Cathedral put up all 6 of those runs in the second inning. And then the Pioneers fall back to win it, and they move on. So congratulations to them. All right, now is the time for me to discuss again, just to drop this in, mention it, that the situation with the voting. I promised you yesterday we're going to talk about this every day that we have the local show here. Today is one of those days, so we're going to talk about it. Once again, if you vote for a Republican on Tuesday in the city of Macomb election, you go to a Republican primary. There's not one, but let's pretend. You vote for a Republican in the primary. You can then vote for a Democrat in the general if you want in June. All it locks you into is whichever primary you vote in, that's the primary runoff you have to vote in. That's it. Has no effect on how you get to vote in the big show, if you will. Has no impact whatsoever. So you make your decision, and basically Tuesday, the decision is going to kind of come down to, vote in the Democratic primary, wherever you're at, whichever ward you're in, or show up and cast a ballot in the Republican primary where there's no competition. There's no competitive races in there. So that's your choice, 100%, but it has no effect whatsoever on what you're allowed to do in the general election in June. None. Zero. I don't care who's saying what. I don't care who told you. I don't care how well-meaning they are, because your aunt may have heard it from your sister, who may have heard it from her brother, who heard it from a guy at work, who heard it from some weird guy in a parking lot somewhere. And that's how it got to you. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know, from the Secretary of State himself, Mike Watson, buddy of mine, from him all the way down to the local level, I have been talking to election-related officials my entire career, 40 years. I know this for a rock-solid fact. However you vote next Tuesday does not affect who you're allowed to vote for in June in the general election. Period. There is no set of circumstances where how you vote Tuesday can affect what you get to do in June. None. It's not possible. There's not a chance. So Just wanted to get that out there. Also want to get out there, in case you haven't heard about this, they are once again closing one of the exits in Summit for the weekend. Show of hands. Is it just me or is this getting old? I know they're doing good stuff, but come on. The southbound exit, 20B in the new terminology, in what I've seen a couple of people refer to on Facebook as a dog bone shaped intersection. Not really a roundabout. You can't go all the way around. Not at one end, not at the western side, but the southbound exit. It's going to be closed. They're going to repave it. They're going to resurface it. That closure, if I remember correctly, I believe begins tomorrow night, about 6, and it'll be back open by the end of the weekend. So by Monday, it should be back open and ready for business. But just giving you a heads up, I want you to know that, so it doesn't catch you by surprise. They'll have signs up. They'll be letting you know, hey, we told you, don't use this. Just giving you a little advance warning there, if you will. The whole thing, and I mentioned it yesterday before we got off the air, about the Supreme Court ruling. And we're giving that a lot of play. We're talking about it a lot here on SuperTalk because it's a pretty big deal. And that's not over yet. Just want you to be aware. Oh no, it's not over yet. This is still going to be loud for a little while before it comes to an end. And it goes away. But I do also want to make sure that everybody else remembers something. We had several Supreme Court justices that were appointed by President Trump in his last administration. We have 6 conservatives. Well, 5 conservatives and John Roberts. We have 6 conservatives on the Supreme Court. We have 3 liberals on the Supreme Court. That decision yesterday was 6-3. Guess how that broke down? Exactly. It speaks back to the thing that we have heard, that we've been saying for a while, that elections have consequences. President Trump won, so he got to appoint Supreme Court justices. But we also have to remember, moving forward, elections still have consequences. Because I guarantee you, if the Democratic Party gets back in power, gets back in control of the federal government, if they get the White House, this can and will be undone, what the Supreme Court did yesterday. Just like we basically just undid something that was put into place over 60 years ago. This Supreme Court ruled against that, against one aspect of it, if you will, because apparently Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act says that you shall not make any concessions or considerations based on race. So the Supreme Court ruled that we can no longer draw districts based on race. You know, what it said in Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. The second that things work out to where the Democrats can appoint some Supreme Court justices and get that balance back out of whack, get it to 5-4, that's all they need to do, which means they need a swing of 2 justices. Don't think for a second what happened yesterday won't be undone. That's why we have to pay attention. That's why we have to stay focused moving forward. We didn't win the game. We won the inning. The game goes on. So just wanted to put that out there. I'm sure I'll talk more about that tomorrow morning on mornings here on Super Talk on Fridays. I'm in the big chair for mornings, and we'll get more into this and some of the aspects that I haven't really seen or heard anyone talk about yet, because everyone is kind of focused on right now, caught up in the moment. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lack of ability to plan for, predict, and look toward the future is how you wind up in an enormous mess.
If you cry for more,
And you don't want an enormous mess in your culture, in your society, or in your government. By the way, friendly reminder, next Tuesday is the primary election for the city of Macomb. I don't know what made me think of that. Final break. Let's close it down with this Thursday after this. Keep it here.
let me take a step towards you. Let me feel you in my hands. Let me cross this line and show you where it leads.
Every now and then, we remind all of you loving, awesome, hardworking husbands that you have a premium it's time to renew. No, it's not life insurance, car insurance, or health insurance. It's way more important than those. I'm Kristen. Gentlemen, it's time to renew those long-term wife insurance policies. When you surprise her with a gift from Selmans, you remind her that no matter what lies ahead, you and she will get through it together. Your gift tells her this long-term wife insurance policy is for life. Renew your long-term wife insurance policy right here at Selmans. We're in it for the long term with you.
Don't miss Dave in the morning, even when you miss it the first time. You can catch it on the podcast. Missing out would be a crime. SuperTalk 93.5 is always the place to be. Wanna get the podcast version? Here, my friend, is the key. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple are just right there on the page. Dave in the morning, late at night, or anytime you have the break. SuperTalkPikeCounty.com. It's all there and it's all the rage. Spotify, Amazon, or Apple, or just right there on the page.
Closing time. Open all the doors and let you out into the world.
Once again, we have run completely out of time. Been a busy show, though. Thanks to Aaron Conerly Skeen with the Beta Club at North Pike, headed to Nationals. Got someone running, got a Pike County kid running for National Vice President of the Beta Club. That's exciting. That's a big deal. And of course, the always bubbly Jessie Hudson, had her in here talking about the ribbon cutting next week on Tuesday for something really cool Southwest is doing. It's going to pay some dividends for this area. The Industrial Maintenance Mobile Lab. If you don't have the time to get to school, that's okay. School will come to you. I love it. Have a wonderful day tomorrow morning in the big chair for mornings, as I said. 6:06 tomorrow morning. I promise I'll pretend to be awake. You have a wonderful day. Stay dry. Drive safely. There's crazy people out there. 6:06 tomorrow morning, my friend. See you then.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.